Yeah, this whole chapter, it started out in team modes primarily, but when you switch it over to solos, it changes so much because, as you said, scavenging, you can do it very stealthily, sneakily, and when you're by yourself, super fast. My question is, has anyone actually heard him come all the way up top at this location? Now, after breaking a few walls, having a say in the fight, he can finally get his word out there until someone else starts screaming back, though, because he's taking shots back, although elevated, possibly not the third party, but the third party. You're in this position, takes out Senny. Now it's just him in a 1v1. We'll see if it's possible. He's going to regroup all the way to the top. But so far, Jexis is playing aggro and playing right.
Yeah, playing very well. Takes a little bit of fall damage there, but he's going to push on to YouTube Taesox here, trying to not let him get away. He knew that other player was there, probably has him at a disadvantage. And frankly, it looks like he doesn't really care. It looks like he just wants to fight and play for it.
Yeah, still using that sneaky maneuver strategy first before going all in. This time, though, switching things up and staying low ground rather than high. Now, the advantages of this is that, first of all, if there's someone else coming through, you're not going to be affected too hard. And at the same time, you get these cheeky angles that push you into boxes, straight up through walls, phasing through. Now, from the top down, the advantages of this pressure is that your shot can land a little bit better. On even ground, it's going to be a 50-50. It's all about controlling the wall. So he'll try to, but he doesn't have the control yet. Now, not controlling the edit. Finally in the box, and once again, a steaming truck rolling straight through Jexis. And there he goes, he jumps out, doesn't have to leave, but just comes right there for a shot in, gets nothing off, actually takes damage, and now in an even worse position. Possibly can get taken out of the spot if someone else jumps in, and that's going to be the case here. A final 50-50, lots of shots missed by Pen and Pete. Wow, the patience pays off. And he gets to survive, going right back in. A third party comes in, jumps out again. Pete,
no!
The porta potty maintenance technician, making sure everything works well, pooping on the competition.
I mean, they're really just stuck in this isolated 1v1, but honestly, this is super important because the amount of Mythic control there, and you can see Lilith just desperately trying to use that heavy sniper recently tampered with, but however, still will one-shot the side of all the builds, so highly impactful.
I mean, like, all Noisy can do right now is just wait for someone to walk by, but with Pleasant not being in zone, with this fight being so isolated, it might already be over the way he's playing. I feel like Lilith has got almost every wall. Once again, gets another quick shot, a big shot off. Although low ground can quickly switch all the way up. We know he owns so many materials all the way up here. Now Noisy will have to build in defense, but once again getting his wall taken, will not have the resources left, I don't think, to stay in here. The pyramid finally comes in, and now Lilith gets to choose what to take. Obviously, will pick up the grappler, the Mythic AR as well, and now has rain on the entire lobby.
Getting ready to line up a shot, but this is a double bait.
Big double by SkyQ. I mean, he's going to hit every single shot first. Unfortunately, though, I think we'll have to keep on fighting because he definitely wants this loot just looking at his loadout. My man is working with momentum off of spawn. Hasn't really seen someone. The first person he gets, he lands those many shots back to back. You know he can't stop. He's going to keep on going, finally get that shield tag down. Might not own the wall, but has all the pressure in this fight. Is not letting go. Still doesn't get the replay, so now it'll be the opposite of what Lewis had. We'll see. Difficulty in getting the wall, but instantly finds one. The pressure is too much to handle for his opponent. Gets the second shot in, and now he's just going to keep moving. Support items aren't that good compared to when you're in the team mode. Sky's grappler, though, that POI, the shark, it gets so much more intense, so much more worth and effective overall to rotate by yourself. You don't have to worry about a duo partner, and it's just so much better to use in a solos format. That being said, yes, we see the effects of that. Getting past 100 different people to a spot you want to be in is very difficult, and you'll see these items pass hands multiple times, although FedEx right now is at the advantage in this fight. If he gets taken out, no, obviously not, especially with the position he's in. He'll pass that Mythic minigun, Brutus's minigun, over to someone else, and the story will just keep going on and on and on. So, although these Mythic POIs are very powerful
as well, right? So now automatically you're not going to be carrying an SMG, probably. Some really good shots coming out right there with that epic AR from FedEx, showing that the 4-weapon loadout, not putting him in a terrible spot. However, we've seen in this meta in solos that, like, let's call it what it is. Flopper and the launch pads from the outside is really, really, really strong. It's very difficult to get into a spot, with the one weakness really being if somebody is already on high ground and attentive to it. but with so much going on, it's really difficult. But what that also means is if you're sacrificing dropping a weapon for that circumstance, you're going to lose fights to these more combat prepared people. And honestly, I think the most exciting part about the FNCS Invitational is we're going to see that meta develop in front of us, and we're going to be able to kind of judge. Or will somebody who doesn't have to eat 2 slots using those do a traditional style play, get a launch pad, get a flopper from one of those airdrops or something, and then take high ground away from them? I honestly have no clue what the right answer is, but these players are going to show us.
Yeah, I think that right answer will change as well from time to time, because you can see...
And the thing is, there's options, which is really interesting, and you can see players kind of tailor their own game plan to it, but then you also get players who adapt it and will reverse it up. Right now, we have a little bit of a lull. Storm has moved in. People just kind of chilling. You can see Kara getting his edits in, getting his resets in. 35 players remaining. We're about to head into zone number 4.
Because we're already at third, moving into fourth. It's going to be almost a build fight moving in. Seems like already an endgame moving zone. Santana's trying to move in. Kara on low. A lot of mats being expended. I feel like they're almost both too low. Kara's already got that metal. Big tack shots coming in. Now he gets a refresh. I mean, Santana still had a lot of wood, so I feel like the decisions right now, a lot of pressure maybe for these players. Although loot's going to be coming into their inventories on a bad position, they might not be able to use it.
Yeah, and one thing to note, again, this is the open. All those names like the Benji Fishies, the Mongrels, those guys, they've already qualified through. These are the people looking to battle against them. And this is also right at the start of the window, so we're going to be seeing these leaderboards change over the course of the day, depending on who has these huge pop-off games to push forward. Kara taking the higher zone. You have Neo just below him. Stomper 4, Thad Castle, 4Z200 IQ all around that left side with reverse Kinder Egg, and Yaja Fonseca just below. A lot of players stacked over the side. Octave hanging out in the middle. He needs to be careful. And then we also have...
When it's a lighter lobby, I think it's still as difficult.
Honestly, if anything, that makes for the ones who aren't in the zone more difficult, because there's just less latent builds going around, less targets for people to be shooting at. So the second you start tunneling, it's more likely that the rest of the lobby kind of chooses you, and you end up going through. However, as we say that, only 2 players going down in the full rotation, so Lot's able to make it in. You see Raja trying to get some shots there with that burst AR. Does have the gray SMG if he decides to also throw some in, but hitting 62, 32, 32. Nice little double tap there. Can he find the finish? Another 32 sneaks through the wall. That's what we talk about when getting chosen. Lewis goes down, and he sees it. He sees the loot.
He has the monster loadout right now, but he's in a position where he got focused as well, because this base is not that strong. So he needs to get what he can, get out quick, get some shields hopefully as well. Yes, he's at max and has possibly the most perfect loadout you can with solos. Now, although the lobby knows he has that Sky's grappler in his inventory, I think he's going to be secluded enough in this spot to be able to use it to rotate in this game. And by God, by the ammo and the loadout that he has in terms of just materials, I think having this Sky's grappler in his inventory is huge.
He only has 35 builds, still long ways to go, but he does have the ability to chill right now. When we talk about kind of the higher rate of fire and the boost that the Mythic weapons give, talked about how this AR can rip through the later parts of the lobby and enables you to play just slightly differently, because you can hang out, you can wait for picks, and then you can try and grapple ahead. That's what Raja's trying to do right now. Able to get that, his loot goblin play so far paying off.
No.
Player pushes into the box. That's the SMG spray, but he says no, not today. Hits him back with the epic tack shotgun. 2 shots, takes the elim, pushes him into the top 20 as well as Octave goes down to the storm.
Still in a very volatile position because he's at low and anything can happen. Once again, a surprise from the right side, now stuck all the way down bottom. The heavy sniper finally being used, but that's a long reload time. Now must use that grappler. Raja is going to start to move forward. Low materials once again, so all these pit stops, all these boxes are going to take a toll on those mats and on that defense. That means the only option left is going to be to get straight into someone's box, get that refresh, get all your materials back, because right now he's just on a threat.
Honestly, for me, that was the time for a cheeky bush play. He could have chilled in that bush and he could have made a play, but instead he's going to box himself up, see if he can catch somebody on the late rotate. Still going to stick with that shotgun out and switches to the grappler. Everyone knows he's going through the low zone, but it's a little too late. He gets in front of everyone else. Can he make a play? You see him consider to go for the Thwaifor Kaizui Classic. Instead, uses it to push in. 83 after he already tags him. Will he find the finish? Still trying to chase his opponent. No more heals. He has to get the conversion and he doesn't get it. Alejandro lights him back up. Chaos 4 onto way. Also picking that up. Raja going down. You can see it there from the other angle. Legitimate Growl or Lermitigral, whatever name that is, I have no idea, gets back on up, and that was such a clutch launch pad. Everyone else is stuck on the low ground, and he's gonna 90 straight up, sees no one else is there, and he's on ultimate high.
It's an uphill battle both on natural low ground and the leaderboard right now because this is the first game. This is where you want that momentum to hit hard, and now it's 7th zone. At the moment, Lermit has all the mats he could please and ask for at this moment with the self-RPG happening as well. He's in one of the best positions because second height can't touch him. It's a full metal base and a big pump to drop down just one layer and maintain height as this zone falls straight off of a mountain. No AR though means pressure is going to be very hard from this angle, from this distance, so he has to close it. Starts to waterfall down on low ground. It's Pylon and Stomper both going for a big fight. Stomp gets the first shot in. Lermit answers back though with a shot of his own. Now we'll see a replay from his perspective on when he saw the things going down. That was an RPG that happened. The first shot misses. The second one after the jump connects. And now we see that final fight going down. It's a 1v1. SMG and pump in hand. Full wood builds from the back. Lermit can't check it. No mats. Loses height but gets the final shot. That wraps up game 1. That's momentum. 45 points and a win for Lermitigral.
Leaderboard. Right now, we've got Bandov at the first place spot, 125 points. So I really enjoy this format because I feel like